Hey friends, welcome back to the channel with another movie reaction. Today we are watching Dune. Super excited for this movie. I've loved Zendaya in everything I've seen her in. She's a star in Euphoria, fantastic. Spider-Man, The Greatest Showman, she's really great in those as well. One person I haven't actually seen before is that Timothy Chalamet son of a...
My wife is in love with this Timothy Chalamet son of a bitch.
So that clip is the only thing I even know about him, so looking forward to seeing him in something for the first time. I actually wasn't going to react to this movie because HBO Max has given me two copyright strikes the last two times I've tried to watch something of theirs, Wonder Woman 1984 and Mortal Kombat. But those strikes have expired, and I'm going to try to make it work this time, maybe by darkening the footage, maybe by putting a filter over it or some words over it, I don't know. But I'm excited to get into this. Didn't read the books, but I know that a lot of people look at this as the beacon of sci-fi. And so I don't even know the basic concept of this movie, so I'm ready. Full reaction on Patreon in the link in the description below. Let's get started.
My planet Arrakis is so beautiful when the sun is low. Rolling over the sands, you can see spice in the air.
Spice.
The Harkonnens came long before I was born. By controlling spice production, they became obscenely rich. Richer than the Emperor himself.
Dave Bautista, richer than the Emperor. Whoa. They just popped out of the ground like daisies.
But one day, by imperial decree, they were gone.
Oh. Off to mine another planet for spice?
Who will our next oppressors be?
If you want it, make me give it to you. Use the voice.
Mom, I just woke up.
Make me give it to you. With his mind?
Give me the water.
Whoa.
Almost.
Almost?
Spice is used by the navigators of the Spacing Guild to find safe paths between the stars. Without spice, interstellar travel is impossible.
That is a very multi-purpose thing.
How much will it cost them, traveling all this way for this formality?
3 guild navigators, a total of 1.46 million, 62 Solaris round trip.
The eye roll makes him into a calculator?
House Atreides shall immediately take control of Arrakis. Do you accept?
What is he gonna say? No?
Duncan,
Oh boy.
hey. I'd like you to take me with you.
That's too bad, because no.
I saw you with the Fremen.
So I do find them. There you go, that's a good omen right there, right?
I saw you lying dead, fallen in battle. Felt like if I had been there, you'd be alive.
Dreams make good stories. But everything important happens when we're awake. Hey, you. Put on some muscle?
I did?
No. Absolutely not.
Here on Caladan, we've ruled by air power and sea power. On Arrakis, we need to cultivate desert power. I told my father I didn't want this either. I wanted to be a pilot.
You are.
told me that.
It's Star Wars.
A great man doesn't seek to lead. He's called to it. And if your answer is no, you'll still be the only thing I ever needed you to be. My son.
This is some interesting writing. I'm on board for it. What the heck?
The slow blade penetrates the shield. Uncle, how can we let this happen? How can the Emperor take everything we've built and give it to that Duke?
When is a gift not a gift? The Atreides' voice is right, and the Emperor is a jealous man.
Oh.
Dangerous.
Leave us.
You dismissed my mother in her own house.
Come here.
Ooh.
Put your right hand in the box.
Defiance.
Remove your hand from the box, and you die.
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
Not till you give me the
What's in the fucking box?
Pain.
Pain.
Silence.
Oh man.
If you had been unable to control your impulses like an animal, we could not let you live. You inherit too much power. Goodbye, young human. I hope you live.
Thank you? Young human. What are you?
We've been carefully crossing bloodlines to bring forth
The one. It's all part of a plan.
That kind of hurts to find out. Why couldn't I have just been your son? Got a very different sentiment from his father. Whoa! They're all gonna fly. Oh my god! The hummingbirds in Legend of Korra, based on this?
Parched, nutrient-poor landscape.
Whoa! What the heck? Is that a
The
giant
thing must lead.
ant spider?
You
Spider.
speak without fear. If the Duke's son lives,
No Atreides will live.
my lord, you gave your word to the witch.
My desert,
Whoa!
my Arrakis.
Hold. Thank you, Stilgar, for the gift of your body's moisture. We accept it in the spirit in which it was given.
Wow.
Glad you've come.
It cools the body and recycles the water lost to sweat.
Recycles
Your
it.
bodies
Worm always comes.
always, they're drawn by rhythmic noises.
Oh boy. Uh-oh.
Our ships can take 6 each. It's still 3 short. We'll find a way. Shield generators weigh 100 kilos each. Have our escorts throw out the shield generators. Yes, sir. And Paul, I want
Wow.
you at the back of the Thopter. Guide them in. Delta Ajax 9.
Quick thinking, Paul. Don't get swallowed up yourself. Did you just...
Recognize your footsteps, old man. Get up.
Whoa! How are we making it out of this? Oh wow.
May his passage cleanse the world and keep the world for his people.
Whoa. Ooh. Well, that's fitting with what she said earlier.
It's
Who will
confusing.
our next oppressors be?
Saw my death. Some things, though, are crystal
Her eyes are
clear.
blue.
I can feel it.
What the heck? Oh. Oh! Ah, damn it. What? Taken down from the inside. Ah. Coming in from behind. I was about to say they have the high ground, but now they no longer do.
The Harkonnens have my wife, Mana. If you bite down hard, this tooth will crash. Breathe out, and you will fill the air with poison.
Wow.
It will be your last breath.
Oh, oh, oh. Oh, wow.
I said I'd set her free. That you could join her. So join her.
Oh. Well, that was potent. You're alive? Damn it.
See a holy war spreading across the universe like unquenchable fire. A warrior religion that waves the Atreides banner in my father's name. You know who you are.
Get off me!
Whoa.
You Bene Gesserit made me a freak!
It's the only reason he's still alive. Aww. Found immediately.
Lady.
What now? Oh man. Oh. Yeah. Crap. She's just gonna hitch a ride on it? Is that what going on here? Oh, damn it. God damn it. Bring it. Bring it. Oh, man.
The mystery of life isn't a problem to solve. We must move with the flow of the process. We must join it.
Wow.
They're dead. It's a certainty.
Virgil. I suppose that's as good a landing as you could have hoped for. Follow the friend. Oh, just seeing the scale of that, jeez. Ah. Well, that's not what you want. They're sitting still. Is it just passing through? Not coming for them? What can you do at this point? Oh god. Oh, to the rocks? Use the voice on it.
Someone set off a thumper.
Ah.
The boy is young. He can't learn our ways. He may have sanctuary. But the woman isn't trained.
Whoa.
Peace.
Peace? You're calling for peace now?
I would not have let you hurt my friends.
Ooh. Hi. Oh. Hello, friend.
She bested you.
Oh.
I
Oh.
invoke the untouched.
But he's... friend. He's supposed to be friend.
But I want you to die with honor.
Here's a knife. Haha.
This world will kill you. Quicker this way.
I'm doing you a mercy. Oh. Yield!
She's toying with him.
He doesn't want to kill him.
He's never killed a man.
The first blood he drew isn't even blood he wanted to draw. I thought he was supposed to be a friend. Follow the friend. Whee! Oh, that's so cool.
Desert power. This is only the beginning.
Yeah, there's a part 2. Right? Right? Wow. Fascinating, fascinating movie. And by the time you're watching this, it has been confirmed we're getting Dune Part 2. Super awesome. And yeah, this movie was great. There's so much lore and backstory. You can feel so much bubbling under the surface, and there's so much to expand on. I got a similar feeling to early Game of Thrones, where I just love the world building. Two movies honestly doesn't feel like it'll be enough. I know there are more books, so do they continue making movies after part two and make two movies per book? I don't know. But the director, Dennis, I do not know how to pronounce his name, really understands how to make cinematic magic. I've only seen one of his other movies, Arrival, but he does a great job there. And here he has so much to work with. And with book to movie adaptations, there's always going to be something that gets left out. And I'm sure it can have been easy to pick and choose. And yeah, I just have to commend him for being able to communicate so much about this world, the mechanics. All of it has to be explained in a coherent and compelling way. So the screenplay also gets mad props too, and it feels like a monumental task to explain this world. Honestly, it feels like it would have been better as a TV series, possibly, but as a movie, they did a fantastic job with it. Um, the early part definitely is a slow burn. I think an hour had passed and most of it had just been set up, but I didn't really mind at all because everything is just really interesting. All the characters are great. We had an all-star cast, and even though we didn't get to see that much of Paul like spending time with these people in his life, like with Thanos, Gurney, and Duncan Idaho, Dr. Yue, you could feel like a deep history there, a lot of trust, a lot of chemistry there. So very well done. The fight scene was a visual treat when he was training with Gurney, but it was also expository on how exactly the shields work in this world. So they mixed a lot of world building with action as well at the same time. So I really appreciate that. But the general setup of the film is really interesting. A lot of little details that I really like. It's cool how the shields work. There's that guy also working for Leto whose eyes rolled into the back of his head and he became a calculator essentially, which what the heck, that's really cool. And then there's the Bene Gesserit terrifying group. And then the box. What's in the box? Pain. And the threat of death if he were to pull his hand out with that poison needle right next to his neck. And we also have the Harkonnen, also very terrifying. The Baron, being able to float like that. The thing is, even though he's not like built like his nephew, Dave Bautista, he's still incredibly physically imposing. He feels like he just oozes like raw power, and the silhouette that he casts when he floats up into the air for the first time is chilling. And yeah, there's so much interesting stuff going on. The Fremen and their ways. I can't wait to find out more about them, about desert power, and Stilgar spitting at the ground before Leto and Duncan. And the whole, yeah, that was that was a really funny scene. Duncan understood that it was a sign of respect. Using moisture in such a way on a desert planet is a sign of respect, so that makes sense. But it was also very hilarious as well. And then Duncan spat, and then Leto spat, and they just take turns spitting in front of each other. It's fantastic. One thing that's really important about this movie is Paul's visions, of course. He did see Duncan Idaho die, and he did die eventually, but very many of the things he saw never came to pass or will never come to pass. And it was like he was seeing just different possibilities of what could happen. And what's interesting here is that just seeing that, having those visions, makes it possible to change that outcome. Because first we saw Chani stab him, but instead she offers him her knife instead. I wonder actually if her stabbing him was a sort of metaphorical death that she calls on him. Like, he becomes a different person, and you have to die to become a different person sometimes. That's the metaphorical death that people refer to. So, yeah, he also uses that knife to kill Jameis. It's the first time he's ever had to kill a person. He helped his mom kill those Harkonnens who were going to dump them in the middle of the desert, but for him to actually be the one to do it, and it was actually probably extra difficult to kill Jameis because in his vision, Jameis saved him, or because of his vision of Jameis, he and his mother were able to live through that sandstorm, and Jameis was a friend. So when he challenged Paul to a fight to the death, I was like, wait, but he's supposed to be friend, right? But Paul has access to the wisdom Jameis would have imparted to him through his visions anyway. So yeah, he saw Jameis tell him to essentially ride the wave when he was in the storm with his mother. So I have to wonder if it's his visions are tied to a sense of destiny, because there is this Fremen folklore. There's this Fremen like prophecy of some chosen one coming and turning the tides. So yeah, I wonder if his visions are enabling that. And Paul's visions, does the timeline change and Jameis can die because Jameis is no longer needed to give Paul advice? That would be very chicken egg, right? The fact that because Paul already understands the lessons that Jameis can teach him, thus destiny, thus fate doesn't need Jameis alive anymore. Could that be possible? Or are Paul's visions of an alternate timeline or timelines, or just possibilities of what could have happened in this world? And of course, the most powerful vision, him and Chani aboard that ship, his house carrying out a religious, fanatical war in his name, in his father's memory. And Paul becomes so afraid of this vision that he even lashes out against his mother for giving him this power, for being part of the Bene Gesserit. And yet he's so afraid of this vision that he sees that even, yeah, it just overwhelms him so much. He has this overwhelming fear of becoming this murderous religious tyrant waging war. And that has to change his decisions going forward because he's so afraid of it. It does feel on some level that his visions are guiding him. Like the vision instilling that fear in him of becoming that man is going to be a big factor in preventing him from becoming that man, right? And so what does that mean for the vision he had of Chani stabbing him? I would think it would mean that he's a little bit more cautious of her, but he also sees the chemistry they have with each other. So yeah, regardless of if the vision holds true or not, they're affecting his decision making. They're giving him more information to act on. And he knew his mother was pregnant before she barely knew. So yeah, it's really fascinating. There's also the possibility that these are like metaphorical visions, like Jameis was supposed to show him the way of the desert as a friend. But in a way, he does show him the way of the desert, first through the vision, and then by challenging him to a fight that teaches him about the desert ways and teaching him how to kill for the first time. So yeah, I really want to see how it all works out in the next film. So many great but tragic moments in this movie too. The way Leto went out, Dr. Yue's wife taken and used as a hostage to make him betray Leto and House Atreides, but the Baron already killed his wife and winds up killing him as well. So he betrayed them for nothing, which really sucks. And Leto biting down to create that toxic fume sadly wasn't enough to kill the Baron. Oh, that's really disappointing. And the sad part is he died not knowing whether Paul or Jessica made it. The doctor did say he'd do whatever he could for his son, but Leto had no idea if they actually succeeded in getting away. And then, as if that wasn't enough, Duncan Idaho, the secondary father figure to Paul, he gives his life defending them as well, which that one hurts a little bit because why not just close the blast doors and try to get away with them? Like I don't know what the outcome would have been since there were only 2 seats on that ship and Liet Kynes wound up dead, but it felt like the blast doors was going to take a while to get through anyway, right? So yeah, poor Liet Kynes, she was really cool. I guess that's the problem with Worm Uber, it just doesn't arrive fast enough, and yeah. And you could tell how much influence Dune had on future science fiction. The most obvious one, I think, being Star Wars. The voice and the Force have some similarities for sure. I don't know if it's reaching to say sandworms and the Sarlacc pits. I feel like that's clearly inspired as well. Also, I've played all the mainline Final Fantasy games outside of the MMOs, and the sandworm that's been present, the sandworm has been present in almost all of them. And there are some other Star Wars references in Final Fantasy, like there are frequently characters named Biggs and Wedge. So I thought like, oh, maybe they got the sandworm idea from the Sarlacc pit in Star Wars. But after watching this, I know the Sarlacc pits were based on the sandworms. So I wonder if Final Fantasy went from, if they were inspired by Star Wars or if they were inspired directly by Dune in the first place. And yeah, those helicopters with those hummingbird wings. I wonder if that's a straight line from those to the hummingbird mecha suits in Legend of Korra. Because yeah, I've heard that this was the inspiration for so much science fiction out there, and I can totally see it. I can see what people are saying for sure. And I think the only major complaint I have about this film isn't a real complaint. It's just that it's the first part, and I need to see more. So when I recorded this reaction, the movie hadn't been greenlit yet, but right before I recorded this commentary, it did. It was greenlit, so yay. But yeah, I came out of this film thinking, like, I thought there was going to be more Zendaya. you see her a lot in the promotion of it, but she's barely in the film. So I was promised more Zendaya, I feel like. So now that there's going to be a second film, we're going to see a lot more of her and her relationship with Paul. So I'll be looking forward to that. And yeah, more Zendaya will be great. I wish she would almost kiss me and then stab me. That's the dream. Mostly joking, but can you imagine Paul in his vision like slinking to the ground after being stabbed and just being like, worth it? I don't know why my mind went there, but anyway, for what this movie is though, just part one of two, it does its job in a fantastic way. It's just such a cool movie, complete visual audio treat. Great cinematography, great music by Hans Zimmer as per usual. Really compelling characters. If only they didn't kill all of them off. And Paul is a really likable character. He clearly yearns for peace. And because of the world he's in, he's forced to turn back on that conversation he had with his father about not wanting this. And then, yeah, leaders don't want to be leaders necessarily. The best leaders don't want to be leaders necessarily. So I thought that was a really compelling storyline as well. So we'll see how that all works out. I'm going to give this a 9.5 out of 10 because it does feel incomplete, but I could easily see that going to a 10 once I see how all the groundwork laid down here will be paid off in the conclusion. So October 2023, 2 years from now, cannot wait. And yeah, there's still so much more to these worlds. We've barely started to get to know about the Fremens and their ways. We've seen them pop up out of the sand. We've seen them ride sandworms. So what else are they capable of? And obviously, I want to see House Harkonnen get taken down for what they did to House Atreides, but there's still so many more houses to learn about, and part 2 feels way too early for this, but how can we somehow take it to the Emperor somewhere down the line as well, and how will the Bene Gesserit continue to influence things going forward, and yeah, more Zendaya, so Zendaya. I said it right before, but then got confused. Anyway, thanks, friends, for watching. This was really fun. Full reaction on Patreon in the link in the description below. Leave a like, really helps with the channel, and I will see you guys next time with another movie reaction. Bye, friends.